Hey guys, welcome to Jaxbeautifulyou. In today's video, we're going to continue on with this beautiful palette with Mikayla X Glamlite. I love this eyeshadow palette. I've had some time to play with it a little bit more from my first initial review, and I'm really starting to enjoy it quite a bit. So this is what the palette looks like on the inside. If you missed my initial review, I will link that above. I did swatches, I did a look, I did, my first impressions of the entire collection, not just this palette. So it comes with some lashes, a highlighter, and some lip glosses. So I will link that above if you missed it, but if you are into colorful eyeshadow, you might want to check out this palette. It is very beautiful. So today I'm going to be doing 3 looks with this palette. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jackie. I do beauty, perfume, and special effects related videos every single week on my channel. This is a positive and judgment-free channel. Everybody is welcome on this channel, and if that sounds good to you, then please subscribe. Also, head over to my Instagram and my TikTok, which are both Jaxbeautifulyou, to check out more looks I do over there as well. If you are interested in seeing me do some more looks with this gorgeous palette, then just keep on watching. Alright, starting off, I'm going to prime my eyes with my ABH eyeshadow primer. Okay, one thing I will say about this eyeshadow palette is that it is a little messy. So I recommend doing your eye makeup first. That's how I usually do my makeup. But just be careful if you are the type of person that just can't do it that way. You have to put your base makeup on first. That's okay. Just be really careful. These are kind of messy, especially the shimmers. Shimmers are very beautiful and very intense, but they're a little crumbly, especially if you wet your brush and then put your brush in there. They kind of flake a little bit, which is fine because those type of shimmers are the really intense kind of shimmers in my opinion, and I really love the payoff, but just be careful. If you're going to dig your finger in there or your brush in there, just be careful and understand that these can be just a little bit messy. There are literally a ton of looks that you can do with this palette. I did kind of like a bluish, purplish, and green look my first time I tried this palette. Like I said, I will link that video above if you want to see that. I think I'm going to switch directions now and kind of play with this area right in here for look number 1. Alright, so this shade right here called Willow, it's a very dark brown shade. I really want to start with that. So I'm just taking a small round brush here and I'm going to put that on the outer corners. And just start with that. I'm just going to kind of pack it on to the area that I want. And then I will worry about blending later. Right now I just really want to pack this shade on to the outer corners. This is extremely pigmented. I mean, that is barely anything. I'm just lightly tapping this on and you can see how just pigmented this is. Okay, I'm going to switch brushes now to a fluffy brush. Now let's see if this rich dark pigment actually blends, because it's one thing to have a formula that's super pigmented, okay? But if it doesn't blend, then that's not great. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's better to have a formula that builds up so that you can have more control and you can actually blend it out and not have any patches or harsh lines. My favorite is when a brand has really pigmented shadows, but they blend really easily too, because then you have the best of both worlds. So let's see if that's what this is. So I'm going to take my fluffy brush and I'm just going to start blending the shade out to see if it will actually blend easily or if it will be patchy. And so far, it's blending out just fine. No problems whatsoever. Yep, it's blending out just fine. Okay, so I'm going to move on to this shade right here called Hot Cocoa, right next to it. And I'm going to put that on my fluffy brush. So I'm just going to kind of connect it to where that shade kind of like ends right here, and then just kind of mix it together and then bring it into my crease area, into the middle. We'll just blend that together. And then I'm going to go into this shade right here called Harley, putting that on my fluffy brush. I'm going to put this on the very top here just to kind of blend these edges out up here. I'm going to go back into that Willow shade. I'm going to bring a little bit of that pigmentation back to the outer corner. I think I over blended there. I'm going to bring it up into my crease just a little bit. Okay, so far so good. Let's move into this shade right here called Cookie. This beautiful shimmer shade here. And I'm going to put that on my finger to start off with, just nice and easy, nice and light. I'm going to start putting that on the outer portion of my lid. And now I'm going to try that with a wet brush. Pick it up with a brush and wet the brush, and then see if that does anything. Okay, and then I'm going to move on to this shade right here called What's Poppin'. And I'm going to put that on my finger. I'm going to put that on the middle portion of the lid and kind of blend it into that outer corner shade. That's pretty. I like that shade a lot. Very metallic looking. Alright, and then I'm going to go into this shade right here called Accent. I'm going to put that on my finger, and let's put that on the inner portion of the lid. And that is a really pretty shimmer as well. So the shimmers in here are definitely metallic and wet looking. They're very beautiful. They're very shimmery. Definitely right up my alley. Little tiny bit of fallout with them, but nothing extreme. So far everything is going pretty well. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and clean up these edges real fast. I'm just using some micellar water to clean up any fallout and the edges here. Alright, I'm going to pop on a little eyeliner. This is the NYX eye pencil. This is in the shade Cafe. And then I'm going to go back to this Willow shade right here that we used in the beginning, and I'm just going to do a small connection to the outer corner here and then just put it on my lower lash line. And then we'll go back into What's Poppin' right here, and we'll put that on the middle to inner portion. And then back into that accent shade that we used on the inner portion, and I'm just going to put that right in the front here. Okay, I'm really liking the way that this eye look is turning out. It's kind of a neutral kind of look, which I think is kind of cool that you can do that in this palette. Like I said, there are so many things that you can do with this, so it is very, very colorful, but there are a lot of neutral options as well, and everything performs really well. So I'm going to go ahead and put on the rest of my makeup, and then I will be back to show you this look in its final completion. Alright guys, I'm back. This is the finished look. I think it looks really, really beautiful. I love how it all turned out. I did add in this highlighter here. This is from Kaleidos, and this is their Solar Sailor. It's kind of like a golden tint highlighter, so I put that on my cheekbones, but I also used this for the inner corner highlight and the brow bone highlight, just FYI. That is the one thing about this palette that I'm noticing when I'm trying to complete the looks, is that it looks like there are a few. This one right here could probably be an inner corner highlight. And then this shade right here called Naz looks like it might work as an inner corner highlight. It just depends on you and what you like. You know, for me, I really, really like light inner corner highlights because I have such small eyes. I need something really light to put in here to kind of give it the illusion of opening my eyes up and making them a little brighter. That's why I always put something lighter on the inner portion of my eyes and something darker on the outer. But other than that, I think this is a really, really fun palette. I just wish there were a little bit more inner corner highlight options, but that's just me being like super, super picky. But anyway, I really love how this look turned out. I think this is a very beautiful kind of like neutral look. I kind of forget how beautiful and elegant looking neutral looks are. I get so excited about color that sometimes neutral looks just kind of, I forget how beautiful they are and just how fun neutral looks are too. So I really like how this turned out. I am going to go ahead and wash my face. Oh, and by the way, I did put on the lashes that are from the collection, so there are 2 of them. There's this pair right here, which I haven't tried yet. This is called Code Orange. Haven't tried these yet. These look gorgeous, but so far I have really been loving these. These are called Brand New, and both of these came in the collection. So absolutely love these lashes. They're very, very easy to apply, and they look very dramatic, very beautiful, just the way that I like my lashes to be, and I don't have any problems with them at all. They're $12 a piece, so I think that's a really reasonable price, and I think they're very beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and wash my face, and then we will come back to do look number 2. Alright guys, I'm back and I am wanting to play with the greens in this palette. So the greens are really calling my name and they look really, really pretty. Again, I am going to prep my eyes with the ABH eyeshadow primer. Alright, I'm going to start off with the shade right here called Loop. And I'm going to put that on the outer portion of my eye, on the lid, and then up into the crease area. And I'm just going to pack that on. That is a pretty, pretty color. And I'm going to put some on the inner portion of the eye here. And then I'm going to connect these 2 with this yellow shade right here called Handy. And I'm just going to take this yellow shade and put it up where my pretend crease would be. Where my crease would be if I didn't have hooded eyes. So right here. And I'm just going to blend this to the tops of the green color and then just kind of make a windshield wiper motion here to bring them across to connect. Okay, and then I want to take this beautiful green shade right here, the shimmer shade called Bonehead, and I'm going to put it on my finger, and I'm just going to put it in the middle of those 2 shades. Okay, and then I want to go into this shimmer shade right here called Stunnin'. I'm going to put that on my finger, and I'm just going to put that in the middle portion here on top of that lime green kind of looking matte color. And kind of blend it into the dark green shimmer shade. And then I think I'm going to take this shade right here called Harley, and I'm going to put that, just a tiny, tiny bit of that to kind of bring up to the eyebrow, just to kind of tone down. That's the thing about the ABH primer, is that it can be like really bright and white, and you need something to kind of go on top of it. So I'm just going to put a light layer of this over top in this little space right below my eyebrow to kind of blend out the edges of that yellow. Okay, and all of those shades performed really, really well. Very pigmented, absolutely no problems with blending. I'm going to continue on to the lower lash line. But first I'm going to go ahead and use this eyeliner. This is from LA Girl, and this is Shockwave. This is their neon eyeliner. I really, really love these eyeliners. They're very affordable and they're very pigmented and they stay in place. And this is in the shade Screamin'. Okay, and I'm just going to go into this shimmer shade that we used on the middle of the lid called Bonehead, and I'm just going to use that on the lower lash line. And then I'm going to go back into this shade right here called Stunnin', and we'll put that in the middle portion. Alright, so everything went on really nicely, so I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my makeup, and I will come back to show you the finished look. Alright guys, this is the finished look for look number 2, which is a yellow and green kind of look. I think everything performed really, really well. I went ahead and used another Kaleidos highlighter for the inner corner highlight and the brow bone highlight. It looks like this. This is in Ray Rider. But I think the greens and the yellow in this palette worked really well. They were very pigmented. Everything was nice. So yeah, no issues with the greens. So let's do one more look. I'm going to go ahead and wash all this off and I'll be right back. Alright guys, look number 3. So I'm looking at this palette and I'm looking at these blues in here and those look really, really pretty. This whole like row right there just looks gorgeous. And I know that there are a lot of purples in here. I did kind of a purple look the first time I reviewed this, and I feel like purples is kind of like the obvious choice maybe for this palette. I mean, I don't know, there are quite a few. All of these are purple shades. So, you know, a monochromatic purple look would be an easy look to do, but there's so much more than just purple in this palette, and so I'm kind of, you know, I did my first look with some purple and I added in these shades kind of to go with it, and then I also added in this shade right here as well. So, you know, if you want to see more of a purple kind of look, go to my first video, but the point of this video was to show you could do more than purple. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, let me prime my eyes real quick. The pinks in this palette are really calling my name too. These pinks look beautiful. So I'm going to do a pink and blue look. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with this shade right here called Rhodey. That looks like a super fun like sky blue, and I'm just going to put that in my transition area above my actual crease, making myself a new crease. Very pretty. Pigmentation is not an issue with this palette. And as you can see, blending is not an issue with this palette either. So far, I really haven't had any issues with any of the shadows. All right, this shade right here called Masshole looks gorgeous. It's a matte shade, and I am going to put that on the outer portion of my eyes, right in the V. Ooh, beautiful. It matches my shirt. And I'm going to bring it up into my actual crease, just a little bit, about halfway. Okay, I'm going to take my fluffy brush and I'm just going to start blending out these edges here. Okay, this shade right here called Naz, this is just looking amazing and calling my name. I've been dying to play with this shade. So I'm going to use this shade next and put it all over my lid. Very, very pretty. It goes on very nicely with the finger. Okay, let's see how it does if I wet my brush. What I seem to be finding with these shimmers is that it doesn't matter if you have a wet brush or your finger, they pretty much go on equally as intense with both methods. But I don't think that I would use these shimmers with just a dry brush. For me, I just don't feel like, I feel like they're too messy for that, and I feel like they would get all over my face. So wet brush or finger is the way to apply these shimmers in my opinion. Okay, that shimmer is really beautiful. I'm going to add in a little bit more color here. We're going to switch gears and go into the pink shimmer shade here. So this is called Simping right here, and it looks really, really beautiful. I'm going to use my finger. I'll put this on the inner corner of my lid. Just a little pop of pink here in the inner corner. Ooh, that is a pretty, pretty pink shade. Ooh, I love that. I love that pink shade. That is beautiful. Beautiful pink shimmer. Okay, let me clean up the outer edges here. Okay, for the waterline, I'm going to use my LA Girl pencil. This is the Shockwave Neon eyeliner, and this is in the shade Fresh. Okay, the outer lash line I'm going to use Mass Hole again, just in the very outer corner of the lower lash line. Just right where that V is, and then down a little bit. And then from there, I want to go into this pink shade called Iconic. That looks so pretty. And I'm going to put that pretty much in the entire lower lash line here. And then I want to go back into Simping, this beautiful pink shimmer shade. I'm going to put that on the inner portion. Okay, everything went really well with those two. Everything blended really nicely. The shimmers are beautiful. Yeah, I just love this palette so far. So let me go ahead and put on the rest of my makeup and I will show you this look in its completion. Alright guys, I'm back and this is the finished look for look number 3. I went ahead and used the other lashes in the collection. So I used the Code Orange that came with it and I really like these. These are also very dramatic, easy to put on, very comfortable, and right up my alley. So I really do like both of the lashes in the collection. And then for the highlighter for this look, I did use the highlighter in this collection as well. It looks like this. It is very like icy and shimmery and beautiful. I used it for an inner corner highlight and a brow bone highlight for this look, as well as the highlighter that I'm wearing on my cheeks. Love this as well. So yeah, I would definitely give this collection a thumbs up. I absolutely love it. I think that you can do so many looks. I didn't even scratch the surface on how many looks that you can do with this palette. I mean, there's just a lot you can do here. It is a big palette. It is $42 or the entire collection is $89. I think it was completely worth the price. I think everything is very bold and pigmented and beautiful, and everything that I like. So yeah, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed these 3 looks. Let me know which one is your favorite in the comment section below. What do you guys think of this collection? Is this something that you guys are gonna pick up or something that you think you're gonna skip over? Let me know in the comment section below. I love to hear from you guys. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I hope everybody is having an amazing day and I will see you in my next video. Bye!